What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know. Das. We get it in. But before we get it in, let's get this intro in. Welcome back to the Super Gunner series where I always tell you the stories about my life with a little bit of a twist. This one just happened. So let's get straight to it, man. Hey, welcome to the channel. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe button, make sure you do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction? The direction of the dope content that I stay kicking up over there. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm very humbled, man. It means a lot to me when you guys join the membership, when you guys like, you subscribe. That way you're abreast of everything I put out, man, because lately, I ain't even gonna lie to you, that algorithm has been rhythming me without me. So it just is what it is, man. I know the haters like to believe it's because of them, but I'm gonna say, nope, not this time. Guard! It's not their fault. They didn't do nothing, literally, right? So let's get to it. So every once in a while, I chop it up with my homeboys from my neighborhood. Oops, shouldn't have said that, huh? But oops, I did it again like a Britney Spears song. I seem to be chopping it up with active gang members from active norteño barrios. It happens all the time. It's Pensan La Tira, man. It happens more than you would even know, right? A lot of people watch my channel. I've been told by a lot of dudes who are actively on general population yards in prison that they watch my channel. Hey, I say a little something for everyone, right? People like to laugh. They like to cry. They like to get emotional. They like to fucking do whatever they do. And they like to watch Gunners Collective TV and the collective clips while doing it. And I ain't mad at them, man. I appreciate the support. Now I'm chopping it up with one of my homies, right, from my neighborhood. And he's like, hey, bro, did you hear what happened? So usually when he checks in or I check in with him, you know, he's giving me the whole rundown on what's the latest and the greatest news. Now, look, man, no, he's not telling me any of your guys' secrets. No, he's not giving me names of who did what and how they did it and why they did it, right? Because I don't give a fuck, to be honest with you. Just like I'm sure you don't care about what I'm doing, or do you? One never knows, does one. But what I do know for sure is he keeps me abreasted of the shit going on in my neighborhood, because it's not like I want to be back in the hood and kicking it with the norteños. But at the same time, it's good when, you know, he could tell me what's going on and just bring me up to date and up to speed with certain things that are happening with people that I know in real life. And so most of it stays here, man. I don't make videos about it or anything. But this one in particular, I told him, hey, I'm going to make a video out of that. So here we go. Here's a Super Gunner with a twist, right? Now, when I first started my YouTube channel, I was aware that after a while, I became aware that some of the things I may or may not have said can be misconstrued, you know, can be switched up, can be taken out of context, and people were going to feel however they feel about me. There's a lot of people that feel just because I'm a non-active norteño and I'm no longer gang banging or I'm in good standings or in the mix, right, that I can't speak on some of the things I speak on, like my words don't count, yet they still steady stay watching me to hear what I have to say. Now, I'll tell you one thing. I was hip to rules and regulations in politics when I was functioning. And I'll be damned if I listened to anything that a dropout had to say or anything that a non-active gang member had to say. Like, nothing they said I paid attention to because it didn't matter in my life. I was on a different plan, a different trajectory, right? I was on the premium level while they were just still trying to get by, because I felt that once you took a step back or once you were no longer involved, whatever you said, you said. And that's cool, man. Do you? I ain't mad at you. If I see you, it's on, but it is what it is. But at no time was I going to sit there and pay attention and take your words for granted, nor am I going to take your words for pura. It's just going to be what it was, right? But I know there's a lot of people that do enjoy my channels and they watch it, whether they're active or non-active. So anyways, I'm chopping it up with the homeboy who's an active member of a gang, right? My neighborhood. And he's like, yeah, bro, he said, trip out. You want to hear some crazy shit that happened? And he goes, you remember the little homie whoop-de-whoop? Now, I know him because this dude owned his own little business. He started a business at a young age. He just had that hustler ambition, right? He was just one of those dudes always out there getting bread, whether it was selling dope, it was fucking selling candy bars when he was a kid, running a scam, or fucking out there working. He was just that guy, right? And so we're kicking it. And we're chopping up. He's like, "You remember old boy?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's the little homie. Why? What's up with him, right? How's he doing?" He said, "Oh yeah, he's still doing good." He goes, "But fucking, you hear what happened to him?" And I said, "Nah." He said, "Well, so what had happened was he had a little business, and his business wasn't located in Merced. It was outside of Merced, right? And so he was hanging around with other Norteños from this different city. I'm not going to put him on blast and say exactly what city, but he was hanging around with them quite recently, up until about a couple weeks ago, right? And I guess he was going around their barrio, and he's representing where we're from, but he's getting embraced by other Norteños. So a lot of those Northerners frequent his business. Well, his business was being utilized as an establishment to hold meetings and juntas, and I'm not going to say they were doing illegal activity there, but just that was a meetup spot for the homies, the Northerners, right, to meet up, and it was a pretty popular spot. And so, because it was his business, he was taking a chance at getting involved in things that don't that are none of his business. Hey, if you're allowing your business to be frequented by gang members and they're being watched by the task, by the feds, or whatever the case may be, when the shit cracks off, they could say that your place was a stronghold or was being utilized to hold these gang meetings and shit, right? Even though it wasn't like that, it was just a spot where everybody met up and chopped it up and whatever. What they were talking about is irrelevant, right? So he was pretty trusted by that neighborhood, pretty embraced, pretty locked in with them. Where it became like a second barrio to him. He lived in the neighborhood, or still does, with his old lady and his kids. She was from out there, right? And so that's why he moved out there and established his business. Like I said, this guy started businesses wherever he went. He's just a businessman type, but he's a youngster, he's in his 20s. And so he's like, "Hey, bro, you hear what happened to him?" I said, "Nah." He said, "Hey, that fool got fucked off." I'm like, "What happened? Did he lose his business or whatever?" Because I already automatically, I know where he's at and what he's doing. And he was like, "Nah, bro." He says, "That fool be fucking with you, right?" I said, "Yeah, like you." He said, "Yeah, but I do it away in the unders and shit, right?" I said, "Yeah, why? What happened?" He said, "Well, that fool was I guess the particular business that he owned, he would have me on his TV. Sometimes he would have me on whatever when it was just him and his workers, right? But I guess he had me on the tubo on silent, and some active Norteños came through. And for the most part, dudes would see me on there and they'd be like, "Oh, you know that fool?" He'd be like, "Yeah, he's from my neighborhood, bro. It used to be from my neighborhood." It's like, whatever, right? And they wouldn't even trip, whatever, right? And he would always have it turned down. But I guess these youngster dudes came through. They seen me on there, right? And so they pushed an issue. They made it a big deal. "You're watching that dropout. You're watching that non-active motherfucker. He's no good. He's this, he's that." We're talking about dudes who have never met me. They're regurgitating what haters have said. They don't know my true story. They don't know anything about me. They just know what they heard or what they think they know, right? "Oh, that's no good, bro. If you're fucking with him, you're no good," right? We're talking about a solid dude who's only been solid, never been in prison, never got caught up, always participated, gave his spot up for Homeboys to function at, to kick it, always kicked in, just righteous, real solid, righteous dude. And because I'm on his TV, they're tripping off of him, right? So they were just youngsters. So he's like, "Whatever, right? Shut the fuck up." And they started to push that issue. So he went to a party, I guess, at their pad, at one of their pads, right? And the issue got brought up. They were waiting on him. And I guess they fucked him off pretty bad, right? He ended up going to the hospital. And the whole thing was because he was watching my channel, right? And so I guess while he was there, a homeboy got at him from the neighborhood, went to go visit and was like, "Hey, bro, when you get out of the hospital, when you're good, when you're straight, just come back to the neighborhood. Homies want to get at you. Ain't no big deal. Ain't no one tripping, right?" So, mind you, dudes from my era, right? Same age as me, grew up with me, functioned when I was functioning, active, all that are still doing their thing or not, right? My homeboys never trip. You ain't never seen one homeboy my age, my group that was with me come on online, man, and say anything derogatory about me. Never. You never said. You seen youngsters, you seen little rappers out of my city make rap songs about me that never met me or that have met me and just talk shit, right? Because they felt I disrespected them, whatever. But you never seen anyone in my era come out and say nothing bad, right? Because they can't and they won't. There ain't nothing bad to say. What? I took a step back. I'm no longer functioning. That's about it. But as far as telling and doing all that, I never did nothing. I don't care what any of these haters say and make it look like I did. Whatever, right? So the little homie gets twisted up by this other city. So he's thinking he's going to go back to my neighborhood and they're just going to have a little junta and they're going to just, "Hey, fuck these dudes that did you like that. We're going to run that back," right? He gets there and it's a whole bunch of youngsters and they're pushing the same issue, right? Oh man, you know, real Norteños don't be on motherfucking YouTube. They don't be doing this. They don't be doing that. This, and that, this, and that. He's no longer welcome in the neighborhood because he fucks with me and all that. And we're talking about a dude that I didn't talk to on the unders. He just would watch me, would watch my channel because it mentioned the hometown and mentioned people he knew. And so he felt like, hey, that was closer to home for him because he was out of town. And, I know people are going to be like, well, it is what it is. He should have been fucked with you. Say what you want, right? But riddle me this, right? And this is what trips me out. Them dudes, my homeboys from my neighborhood, the little homies, right? And dudes from out of town were like, this dude, hey, he should know better. He was a homeboy. Homeboys don't go online. Homeboys don't be speaking on gang politics. Homeboys don't be speaking on this, that. First of all, every story that I tell you is something I've been through. It's my own personal experiences. I don't tell you how to enter contraband into facilities. I don't tell you about cell phones in the facilities and how to get them in or who's bringing them. I don't talk about organizations and things that they're doing behind the walls. I don't talk about none of that. I tell you stories, and I'll talk about cases that pop up in the news, and you ain't never going to hear nothing but my little personal stories and shit that I know about. But I'm not going to say, hey, this is the dude who was bringing this in, and this is the dude who was bringing that in. And I'm not going to do all that, right? It's not me. It's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to stop you from gangbanging. I'm not here to make you fucking go Christian. I'm not here for none of that. I'm here to entertain you and tell you my life experiences and stories. And sometimes I might bullshit you and put a little hot sauce on it, and sometimes I won't. But at the end of the day, 99% of the shit that comes out of my mouth is shared or real experience. That's a fact, right? You could take away all the bullshit. I don't want it, right? You can't take away the fact of what I once was and what I represented. And there's a lot of people that recognize and respect that and respect the way I move, how I show respect to Southerners and Northerners and Bulldogs and everyone, right? And quietly as it's kept, with these guys saying, oh, real Norteños don't do this and that. Well, I mean, you got active podcasts, Norteños and Southsiders right now that are arguing with each other, talking shit about the opposition, carrying themselves with the lack of professionalism. I don't disrespect or not respect them. I respect them as men, but I know a lot of things they're doing in the Norteño light, in the enlightenment, in the realness. That ain't it, homie. Right? I know that for a fact. And I'm hated for it. Dudes will sit there and say, I don't watch that fool Gunner. He's a DO. He's no good. Fuck this, this, and that. But they'll turn around and watch these active dudes just doing some clown activities. And that's just not hating. That's just real. They'll watch other people of non-active status tell on organizations, call people tecatos, disrespect their family members, do all kinds of shit and praise them because, they're trying to do the right thing. They're not trying to do the right thing. They're trying to make money off bullshitting you guys and being a little bit more fucking, at least they're down. They're not scared. It's not about being scared. It's about respect. But it is what it is, right? I used to have a lot of non-active Norteños and active Norteños that fucked with me. And because I started fucking with Dubs, who's, from Southern California, they fell off. Look, I don't play that shit. That's part of my thing. I'm not playing North and South. I might wear red and I might wear blue. It just depends on how I feel that day. I wear more red than blue because I'm from Northern California, and that's just what I'm used to. But it doesn't mean I'm representing gang colors. I don't live like that, right? I'm just doing me, man. But anyways, I thought it was crazy that the little homie got removed basically and is no longer in good standings. They went all the way to the point where they fucked him up in the other city, but they didn't fuck him up in Merced. They just basically kicked him to the curb and said, hey, bro, if you fuck what they do, we ain't fuck with you. You want to know the cool part? Is I asked who was all at that junta, and 50% of them dudes that were there fuck with me. It's called, what a fucking cold, hypocrite ass thing, huh? To do. Cold-blooded. And I'm not putting them on blast, but I'm putting them on blast. It just is what it is, right? Anyways, with that being said, I just wanted to speak on that, man. Removed for watching my channel. I've heard it all. Look, I'm not going to, this is no hatred, right? And I should do a whole video on it. I think I am. I was going to say something right now, and I'll keep that one. And I'll do a video on it. I'll do another video on it on the big channel, man. And you'll know what I'm talking about because I'll mention this video. If you watched it, you'll know. But it always boggles my mind that there's literally active gang members, North and South, Bulldogs and everything that are on. I mean, say that dude BFD, right? And I don't like to disrespect that dude. It is what it is. But he's the standard right now for being a Norteño, right? Not in shape. Not up to par by any means, right? Just got good verbal. Is able to twist people's minds up. But Sloppy Joe, right? He's sloppy toppy. That dude's stomach is, him and Chito Ranas are going tit for tat on whose tits are bigger for that, right? And who has bigger tits that tats, right? It's just crazy. But at the same time, this dude, his whole shtick is running around talking about how all the burritos are better than the burrito he had in LA. Just disrespecting LA, making it to coming to a point where it's like, damn, you're just hating on LA at this point, bro. Fuck, it's just a burrito. I said, just eat it, right? Just eat it. And it's just a trip, you know. But dudes will run around like, oh, because I'm in good standings or I'm in that standings. This dude, I'm more laced up than this dude. I'm tougher than this dude. I'm downer than this dude. Nah, you just have never been put in that position yet or wizened up. Or, you know, and no disrespect to the Norteños with that fire still burning. Do your thing. Same thing with the Southerners. But at the end of the day, man, you know, you look foolish if you're like Neil Dezad out there, chat this, chat that, Buster this. But shit's funny to me, bro. It's like, bro, if you feel that's if you really hate a motherfucker, take a ride and go beat something up. Or just shut the fuck up, stupid ass. Right? That's just how I feel. Just being real here, man. There's so much hatred in this world. This world is full of haters and instigators and non-participators, right? And you know, it's pretty upsetting that someone can't even watch what they want in their own business just because they're entertained by it. And it always has to come to some gang shit when it's not even about no gang shit. It's crazy, right? And half those dudes that felt that type of way are gonna fall off. A lot of them talk to dudes who already fell off, but they always use an excuse. Oh, that's my homie from way back, or that's my brother, or that's my cousin, or that's that. Now that's a dropout. That's what that is. Anyways, homie got removed, and I'm just gonna add it to the Super Norteño, Super Gunner episodes because I think it's unfortunate that he got removed for watching my channel. You know what I'm saying? I got his number now. I'm gonna give him a call. Like, hey, Spencer, homie, I didn't mean to. I guess I'm still removing people, huh? It just is what it is. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that hurts that guy's heart. That wears my crown, right? And I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in. And that's for the betterment of all people. This video actually reminded me, like I said, to do that other video. It's going to be a little controversial because the guy I'm going to mention, people got a lot of love for. But when I break it all down, it's going to make people think, why do I have so much love for this guy? And it's not that I have hatred or I even want to be disrespectful to him, but I'm just going to be real. We'll see how it all turns out. This is the gun. Bang, bang. Hit a 1 if you like this video for further content.